The truth is that you don't give yourself enough credit. It could be because of the things you see online, you know, the people you look up to, or maybe even compare yourself to. Or it could just be your complete unwillingness to tell yourself that you've done a good job. So this is a little reminder from me to you that you are doing better than you think. Look, I know there's always more to get done. There's always more to accomplish. There's always someone out there doing more or better. I know. And it's tough seeing and feeling all of those things, isn't it? Because you experience it every single day. But the fact is that you're doing what you can when you can. And sometimes that is genuinely all you need. Kind of like keeping afloat, so to speak. You know, because life is hard, man. It's difficult. You know, skipping a day at the gym, you know, not hustling until 11 p.m. is completely fine and completely normal. We can't do it every single day, all the time. You know, motivation and just feeling motivated in general is incredible because it can give you a day of progress that you normally would accomplish in a week. But the problem with those days is that when they're over, the following day you compare yourself to that previous one, and you're not always going to be up here at 100% every single day. And that's just something we all have to accept as human beings. Because one day, your 100% is all the way up here. But majority of the days, your 100% could be just down here, and that's completely normal because that might be a normal baseline of what it is that you do on a daily basis. And because of that, sometimes we feel like we're doing the bare minimum. I don't believe it's actually the bare minimum. I'm just going to refer to it that way because of a few reasons. The first one being is that your bare minimum could be significantly more than someone else's maximum output. We don't know that. And this isn't a matter of who does more, who's better, who's more motivated, whatever. This is just a matter of perspective. It's that everyone's bare minimum is completely different. So you having a slow day, so to speak, might actually still be quite productive in the grand scheme of things. And if you have a slow day, well, maybe you clearly needed it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And secondly, because you do so much all the time, every single day, when you dip below that threshold, you feel it, you notice it, you sense it, and your first instinct is to think negatively about yourself and how little you do during those days. When in reality, your usual 24/7 on the go, hectic daily attitude and schedule simply just catches up to you. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a step back here and there, because I want you to remember how much you actually do all the time. So I mentioned in one of my videos, if you're consistent and you have a little dip here and there, it's not going to be noticeable over the grand scheme of things. Because if you just go and go and go for 3, 4, 5 months straight working on a project, having a day off every couple of weeks, you're not even going to notice that in your progress over a long period of time. You just won't even see it. You will not feel it. So don't be hard on yourself when you do have a day off. Just enjoy it and allow your brain to calm down a little for once. You know, I had something pretty similar over a week, for example, when I was just at the office. It was getting towards the end of the day. You know, I was getting ready for the gym. The day itself at work was completely fine. There was nothing that stood out, that didn't stand out. It was just a normal, fine day. I got changed, went to the gym. I had a normal, steady, quiet gym session like normal. And during a lot of sessions, I tend to make lists on my phone, just to kind of keeping track of what I want to do, things I want to get done. It's just something that helps me. I work well with lists, keeps me on track. And majority of the time, I tend to get most things done on those lists, if not all. But that day was completely different than what I've had in quite a while, to be fair, because the most productive thing I did that evening was get home and have a shower, and that's it. And over the years, I've come to accept those days. Back in the day, I would beat myself up. I would just think that I'm a lazy piece of shit for not getting things done. I would really beat myself up for it, and it would really put a downer on me, not just that night, but in the following few nights. Because that effect just doesn't just go away. It lingers because I was always guilty of all that progress I lost, of all the things I could have done, rather than just taking it one day at a time. Sure, I might have lost some progress, but there's no reason I can't catch it up over the week, over the next couple of weeks. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I didn't think that way. Because, you know, for someone that is constantly on the go and doesn't really take much time off at all, you know, whether that's work, training, business, other responsibilities, I don't really tend to take much time off. I tend to be really consistent in my routine, but it's to be expected because I'm always so active, you know, with my body and my mind. It catches up to us. It catches up to me. It catches up to you. It will catch up. Fatigue, burnout, just exhaustion, just having an off day. It will happen. It will get to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even the most successful businessmen and athletes in the world have these days. Just because they're in the top 1% of humans doesn't mean they're invincible. And their diets and their schedules, and they've got people around them constantly helping them. Their entire lives are optimized So for just a, let's just say, normal, average person like us, it's just inevitable. I'd probably say there's more things we have to worry about than they do when it comes to optimal performance. So have that time off. Don't be ashamed to have a day or an evening. I don't care what it is, but just have time for you. Sometimes in our lives it's not even work. Sometimes it's the hobbies, sometimes it's family, sometimes partners, children, whatever. Anything could have some sort of effect on us because our brains need to feel that tranquility and peace ever so often. So say no to other people. Say no to activities. Say no to work and just say yes to yourself because you need it. And when you need it, you take it, because putting it off and prolonged overexertion will not do you any favors. I can promise you that. I know you want to get things done, and I know that time is ticking. Time is not coming back, but your health isn't either. Our health is what we make it, to an extent, of course. Some things cannot be controlled, but a lot of it can. And when we can intervene and we can take control, we must. And taking a break is all part of the process. You can't just train every single day. Your body needs rest. You can't just learn every single day. Your mind needs rest. You can't be giving all the time. Your soul needs a rest. We need time where we can shut off, because taking things at a good pace creates sustainability, and sustainability creates longevity. And without longevity, you're never going to be able to see through huge plans over a long course of time, because you're going to collapse before you get to the finish line. So accept those bad days. Accept the fact that you can get tired. And remember, you're still here. You're still getting through it all, day by day. So you may not think it, but you are doing better than you think.